It's the third day of waiting for MEKONNEN to be registered at this refugee camp in Sudan's Gadarif state. She wants to be able to receive her own shelter. The camp, known as Tigray, is her second new home since she escaped fighting in Ethiopia's Tigray region weeks ago.
I was in a different camp before. Things were tough there to the extent that I thought of returning back to Ethiopia, but I was told by those arriving that it was still not safe to return and that the fighting is ongoing, so I agreed to be transferred here.
The camp, which opened in early January, now hosts more than 13,000 Ethiopian refugees. They fled their homes because of fighting between the government and the regional Tigray People's Liberation Front. It started in early November and has left the region with little to no way to communicate. Aid agencies say humanitarian access to many parts of Tigray have also been restricted. Tigray camp is the second open to host the refugees who've been relocated from other camps that were closer to the Sudan-Ethiopia border.
Refugees continue to arrive, though in lesser numbers than at the start of the conflict. The reception centers which served as camps in Kassala and Gadarif were not meant to be camps because, for the safety of the refugees, a camp has to be at least 50 kilometers away from the international border. So we're working to bring those still there, here, to be able to give them protection and services.
More than 60,000 have arrived in Sudan since the start of the conflict. The Ethiopian government says this is a law enforcement operation. Its soldiers captured the Tigrayan capital Mekelle in December. Most of the refugees here have been in camps for nearly 3 months now, arriving just days after the start of the Ethiopian government offensive in Tigray. Others arrived more recently, but the rise in the number of refugees coming to Sudan, despite some reporting that Ethiopian soldiers have made it difficult to cross the border, is an indication that the conflict in Tigray is not over. And with the continuing flow of refugees, aid organizations say their appeal for funding to respond to the situation is only half met.
We have a country interagency appeal, which requires around 147 million US dollars to be able to assist up to 100,000 refugees. This doesn't mean that we have already 100,000 refugees here, nor that they will arrive, all of them, but we need to be prepared and planning for that scenario.
More refugees are expected here in the coming days and weeks. While many say they prefer Tigray camp to the reception centers they were at earlier, they say what they really want is the ability to return home. Hiba, Al Jazeera, Tigray camp, Gadarif state.